Right, just had a test drive, only about 20 miles, but I timed it really well. That started, I knew it was going to rain anyway, but that started literally as I was coming in the gate. Just managed to get a little bit wet coming in the garage. I'm not averse to rain, I've got waterproof gear. I just didn't have to be out in the pouring rain. But anyway, so I've had my test drive. Clutch is behaving perfectly fine. Oil level is, get my torch. Oil level is where I want it. Deceptive. And just check the sump plug area. I dried it off before I went out, but no leaks there. I'm just going to chuck it on the side stand now. Excuse the bad camera work again. Just going to sling her on the side stand and just check that chain tension slack. Chain tension is perfect, exactly where I want it. So we're all good. Happy days. Good, so it all worked out well. You hear the thunder in the background. That was close. Like I said, don't want to put my waterproofs on. So it's evening time now. I haven't got my watch on because I've been out on the bike. It's about 5 o'clock in the evening. So tomorrow I hopefully will be able to have a nice proper ride, get some miles racked up on her. So very happy. Everything I've done turned out okay. I know I'm always sort of cautious about everything I'm doing. I don't know why. I've been doing it for 40 odd years now on bikes and 35 years on cars, 35 years on bikes. Since early 80s. So I was a qualified car mechanic for the first 15 years of my working life. So I should have a good idea of what I'm doing. What I don't want to do is everything I know about mechanically is really old stuff, really old cars and that. I don't know anything about the modern stuff, but I always get them to fix and somehow get through it. I don't know anything about modern bikes. I've only just learning about how fuel injection on bikes works. Through necessity, because this pretty much packed up last year. I love carbs, I love manual. I don't understand all this quick shifter, traction control, lean angle, this riding modes, electronic suspension. What is all that about? Oh god, it's turned into a rant, sorry. You ride a motorcycle because you are constantly testing your own skill level and confidence and ability. Your traction control is your right hand. Your ABS is your right hand and your right foot. I brake, I'm old school, I brake front and rear pretty much all the time. Depending on the situation, I'll use the front brake more or the rear brake more, depending what the conditions are like. But I use both brakes all the time, like a 60-40 split, front to rear or whatever, 80-20. I don't understand traction control, I don't understand ABS, I don't understand lean, angle, I don't understand engine modes. Engine modes, what's that about? You get a bike, you know how powerful it is, how fast it goes. You control the throttle, accelerator. That's your engine modes. If it's raining, go steady. If it's nice, dry, sticky day, you can take it a bit, have more fun. If it's wet, you leave yourself plenty of braking room and you use the front and the rear brake. Lean angle, well, if you lean too far you fall off. And thus far, touch wood, I haven't managed to do that in 35 years of riding. Okay, so I might be a bit of an old granddad when I ride, but then again, I'm not. I do have a bit of fun when it's appropriate. So how do we get here? I'm just moaning about modern cars and bikes. I suppose if I don't own a modern bike with all this stuff on it, so I wouldn't know. I don't want to. I don't. All my bikes are always around about the year up to and around about the year 2000, because they're cheap enough to buy. You can buy a really nice 30,000 mile bike from around about the year 2000. It's been well looked after with full service history for sort of £2,500 to £3,000. Maybe cheaper, maybe dearer, but that's what I always go for, and they're always fine. Okay, I suppose I do fix them myself, so maybe they're not fine, maybe there are problems with them, but they're all minor, all stuff you can do yourself. So this, like, TMF makes me laugh, the Missenden Flyer. Love him to bits. He's an absolutely fantastic guy. He rides all the modern stuff. He gets given the modern stuff to review. He's very honest and he reviews them, and he's a brilliant, fantastic, genuine, honest gentleman, and I'm not putting him down at all. I love the guy, he's fantastic. But every single bike he gets on, within 5 minutes of me watching it, thinking, oh, that's nice, that's a pretty version of whatever, the new slab-sided Suzuki, that looks a bit funky, that's good. I might buy one of them in 20 years time when I can afford it. And then after 5 minutes it always goes into, yeah, this one's got 3 levels of engine mode, it's got this braking, it's got that suspension, it's got a TFT screen, it's got this, that, blah 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 blah. Quick shifter up and down. Can't we use the clutch? What's the matter? Don't our fingers work because we spent all day typing shit on our iPads? It's just mental. Now that's not the Missenden Flyer's fault. He's riding and giving an honest review of the modern motorbikes. But he's the only one I watch that rides modern stuff. So sorry, TMF. I know you're not one of my subs anyway. But where's biking gone? I suppose the people who are 20 years older than me, people in their 70s, 80s probably now, 70s and 80s, who were riding BSA Gold Stars, Bantams, Triumph T100s, T120s, Bonnevilles, the real Triumphs from the 60s, you know. Let's not go there with the modern stuff. Anyway, so those guys, I would imagine, when I was riding round on Japanese stuff in the early 80s, and that's what I loved, your CB 404s and your CB 750s and your CXs and your Hondas, your Z1000, Z900, Z1 900s, all of that stuff, all the Japanese 4-cylinder stuff and everything. The guys who were 20, 30 years older than me probably thought, what is this stupid modern rubbish that Springy's riding? Because they're used to, you know, the bikes from the 60s and the early 70s, and I was into the bikes from the late 70s, early 80s, and now I'm into bikes from the 90s and early 2000s. So yes, don't know why I'm ranting about why modern bikes are so stupid when I started biking I was riding modern bikes compared to the guys who were riding proper bikes with oil leaks and gear levers and clutches on the wrong side and ignition advancers and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, the bike's fine, it's all sorted. I've had a rant. Sorry TMF, I love you to bits. I know you're not watching. That wasn't a personal insult against you. That was insult against the new generation of motorcycles that are available today, which I hate, which I'll probably be riding on if I'm still alive in 20 years' time. Those are the bikes that I'll be riding. So there you go. Thanks a lot. I was Springy. Peace and love. And thanks for listening to that rant. See you later.